Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a stock analysis on Svitzer. Now if you don't know what Svitzer is, they make tugboats and they operate in basically every single country in the world with exception of America and I believe Russia also and a few others, but they are in about 170 countries as far as I believe. Now it is a company that was owned by Maersk, the Danish container ship giant, but then they in May of last year they put it out and sold the stocks. They still own, I believe it's about half. So yeah, but it is quite an interesting company as they are leading in tugboat technology. They operate and produce tugboats, and recently they just made a new one, which is a hybrid, which has more pull strength for less energy than conventional ones because they can supplement with their hybrid technology. Because imagine a regular car or a hybrid or electrical car, the electric and hybrid car has much more torque because a battery is much more energy dense only for a short while, so it's only good for less time. But when you need to draw something very or push something very heavy, it is quite better to do those tight turns, which is quite interesting. Now, if you take a look at the stock, since it was launched back in 24, as you can see, it is a very small stock. So the technicals on this is going to be a bit weird and a bit off compared to other stocks. As you can see here, it launched at about 250, no 220. So as you can see, currently it is almost the same as it is now. It did trade up quite sharply in the start, all the way up, peaking up at around 280, 285 or something like that, and then it went a bit down again, as you can see, falling almost 60 Danish kroners. And now it has had a nice upwards run. It did make a golden cross back in February, the 11th of February, and then continuing to do so. Then we did see a death cross right here on the 12th of March, but then a day later we actually see a golden cross, which is quite interesting. Now personally I do like this stock because they are by far the best in their niche, in their branch. So I like it quite a lot. Also, their dividends are quite nice. As you can see, a indicated dividend yield is 3.5%, and their next dividend is in May, I believe. It's on the 11th of April. All right, so in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks actually. Quite interesting. But I like this stock. This isn't going to be the biggest growth stock in the world, but they do pay nice dividends, and they're just going to keep on winning market share. As I believe their technology within tugboats is just simply the best. Now, as you can see, the earnings here, they were spot on back in May, 3rd of May 24, but then they were a bit below in 24. And you can see the amount, as you can see, it is actually they earned 15.84, and that is quite high for a stock. And as I told you, that is because that, as I believe, they are still owned quite a lot by Maersk, which of course has an interest in owning this company, as then they have priority on the tugboats for their own ships. So yeah, dividends are quite nice. This hasn't been updated yet. I'm not sure as to why, but I believe it's because it's a quite new stock and they haven't paid out any actual dividends yet, as their first one is on the 11th of April. Now, as you can see, their income is quite decent. They rake in quite a lot of money. Their net income is also quite decent, given that they are operating in ships where a good margin can sometimes be quite hard to get by, but they're doing quite nicely. Also, as you can see, semi-annually here, doesn't really make much sense to do that actually, as I just figured it hasn't been on the stock that long. Now, performance since it came out, as you can see, we only have these 2 years, so it's quite poor, of course, as we did lose money last year, and for the year being, it is also down 2%. So yeah, quite interesting, but it has not been publicly traded for a year, so of course we cannot really use this for anything proper. And now the technicals on this is a buy for the day, and for the month it is a sell. Now that is because we did see this huge spike up here back in the start of March, and then it dropped quite a lot, but we do have some gaps here in the stock. As you can see, we have a gap right here, and which makes the technicals act a bit weird, because then if there were quite a lot of green candles leading this up, then that would be a positive for the technicals. But given that we don't have them, they cannot take that into consideration, and we also see gaps here. So the technicals of this is not as accurate as I would like them to be. Now the analyst rating here is a strong buy. As you can see, 1 year price target is 33% up. That makes quite a lot of sense. As you can see, we have 4 strong buy and 1 hold. So as I said, this isn't going to be the company that makes you millions, but it is quite nice just having the bottom of your portfolio and simply gain year over year and pay out nice dividends. A bit like some other dividend stocks, but this is quite nice. If you did like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.